Entrance points. That's the class. Entrance points. Go to the entrance points list, which is on the hub on the right, on upper right. Go to the entrance points list. Okay. Everybody there?
Nope.
No, not yet. I'll be there in a minute.
Okay. And what you do here is take a symptom and then you see how the thing came in. Now, an open entrance point means that you are collusive with something. Barb, you understand what collusive means?
Yeah, in general, but I'd like to see more specifically those I'm listening. Yeah, I know. Like, you're actually working with something that may not be healthy for you.
You are in league with something that's compromising your immune system.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
Yep.
Okay. For example, you've been writing little tweets that say things like, you know, I want more love in my life. I want a partner. I want a girlfriend. I'm
That's what you're reading. But yeah, I haven't written much well, but maybe you're still hearing me. Yeah.
Okay. So you don't write those anymore, huh?
I'm trying not to. I'm just trying to get the results.
When did you? Okay. Well, why don't we just take that symptom? We can work with it anyway. It doesn't matter. You know, if you don't do it anymore, it doesn't matter.
I'm getting more what I want.
Yeah. Well, good. You know. Okay. So let's use it anyway. I want everybody to test and go down the entrance points list. What bodies have an open entrance point when somebody is doing that? Because a lot of people do that. It's very common, so it's not...
Emotional.
Okay. Now, what's emotional? What's the entrance point?
Beautiful sadness.
Okay, thank you. Is that... everybody test, is that a beautiful sadness?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we've got one. Now, what's the good of this? Like knowing this, like what good does it do us?
Good question. I suppose you take your emotional body to full function.
Yes, exactly. If you can find where the entrance point is. In other words, this is a very quick cure.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this. This little list enables you to cure things very quickly, like within seconds.
I didn't hear what Barb said. What did she say?
Barb, what'd you say?
I said that once you know the entrance point, you know that is putting in your issue, then you can take that corresponding body and then you take the full function and show the entrance point. Quick cure.
That's right.
Did you hear that? Yeah. So in this case, I would check my emotional body and then check myself, and then I wouldn't feel so like emotional all the time, like I had missed something, or you're sad, no sadness about missing opportunities and all that stuff. In my case.
Well, yeah, you have to watch out that you don't make that whole sadness thing your mantra so it becomes permanent.
Yeah, I know, it has been, I mean, it has been constantly this kind of place of sadness, and just, and I got used to it, so, you know.
Yeah.
feeling with.
Identify with it.
Hopelessness,
Sure.
yeah, never being able to catch up, not being able to do what I want, not being able to catch up, missing opportunities, that kind of thing.
Can I have an example of beautiful sadness?
I just gave you some, like when I pine over someone that I think I can't be with, or have a place I want to go that I can't get to, or, it's, like that feeling of like missing, it's like when the door closes and the person's right over there, like in the movies, you just miss them by a little bit, like that kind of experience. And it creates like that, like a lower mood thing.
There was a Pfeiffer, I don't know if you remember in New York, in the Village Voice, this guy used to do cartoons, and it's a Pfeiffer cartoon, and it was this woman, and she was saying, oh, I'm waiting for my prince to come, and the prince comes, and he's like saying, I'd love to marry you, and she's saying, oh, but I'm just waiting for my prince to come. And he finally gets down on his knees, and he says, I'm here, I want you. And she said, but I'm still waiting for my prince to come.
It's kind of like that. The thing that I realize with this thing too is that there is time is continuous. Like time is like a circle. It's not a continuum sometimes. So I think beautiful sadness is also when you miss. It seems like you're missing something. You really think, wow, that thing's totally gone. It will never. When you cure the body, though, then you realize it's all still happening. It's all here. So it's a continuum. It's not. You don't feel so cut off. If your bodies are healthy, it just feels like you're just doing it where you're at, the distance.
Nice.
I have had that my whole life, and I've been doing some of it now, being around my dad. My mother's gone. I guess I'm experiencing it more with my dad, because my mother went, but my father was always here, and he was always someone to look up to, and always someone who's out there that I could relate to. And now it's like, very, very much the same thing. I used to do that a lot with relationships, with love relationships too, Barb.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I had a conversation with Joe Eves once. He's an old friend of ours, and he's in Peru now. He was saying, you're just like, you're feeling what it's like to have, like you put so many years on staff, and now suddenly, you're on your own, you want your life back, and you're just like, you're rushing too fast and trying to get your life back. Sometimes it does feel like that. Like, now I see, things I want to have or things I want to do. But, I just put aside or didn't think that were available or I could handle. And then, now I've made some mistakes. You can see that, I'm out of shape. I haven't done this for a while. And that's sort of the beautiful thing. It's easy to get down on myself. Until I take myself back to some kind of full function and remind myself again that time is still, it's not just like things are passing by. It's more like it's all around you.
Okay, when Joe did that, when Joe was talking to you,
Yeah.
was he attempting to enter through one of these entrance points?
Let's check. Probably. Let's check. Poetic justice, vengeance.
Everybody tests, actually, Greg.
Ideal path.
Okay, so do you get a signal on that?
Yeah, she was assuming as if my path hadn't been right in the past, and now it's,
So he was trying to enter through the universal emotional body.
Let's check. too, because sometimes he's had issues, like almost like he wished he had been on staff, or he wished that he had the kind of relationship with you all.
Well, the point is, that's not why. What he was doing was trying to control you. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why he would. That's why when people enter through these things, they're trying to control you.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they have different objectives for that control, depending on the person.
Yeah, yeah.
Greg, test down this list and see if there are other entrance points Joe was trying to use, in addition to the universal emotional body.
There are others. He leads with that one often, because it makes the others palatable. You know. There's gravitational. He's using his astral body. I don't know if he's appealing to your astral body. Universal mental. I'm getting yes on a lot of things. Karmic. Let's see, karmic. Not so much. No. So I'm seeing what he's using, but what is he? So is he actually trying to enter Bart's through those things? Yes.
Oh, yeah, there was a piece of attacking there, and since he was trying to judge, or like have me judge what I had done with my life previously, there's something I, lost that I was getting back, which doesn't seem totally accurate, but.
So which body would that be?
Would that one be, let's see. Would that be, limiting logic, maybe? Of mental body? Also power, destination.
I think what I tested on was the emotional.
Presence again?
I also tested on the gravitational, vengeance.
Vengeance, yeah, so I thought that one too. Sometimes he channels his vengeance through me, or whatever.
Joe is somebody who I don't want to have anything to do with.
Mm-hmm.
Neither do I. I've never really taken to him.
I do not.
I've never even met him in person. He it's almost like he gets to you guys through me or something.
He sends me email and I don't read it.
Yeah.
And I haven't told him I'm not reading. I don't have anything to do with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but one thing, if you think about, like, what would he be trying to control you into doing? And how about maybe he's just trying to, a simple thing to control you into spending time with him or paying attention to him. Do you think that's...
Yeah, because some of his things get really long and convoluted. That could be too.
I get that. That's his way of being a relationship, and he has this beautiful thing he's presenting. He wants to win you over with it, so you spend time and hang out with him, and you see him as something great. Self-esteem, his loneliness.
Well, we have a connection. We have been, like, he has sort of appeared. He's been there for me at certain times, and now he's disappeared. And he's really involved with his ayahuasca teachers and so forth. And he's really fascinated by, the overlap of what we do and what we do.
Okay, when you see somebody trying to control you in ways like this, what is the right thing to do?
I'm not sure. I didn't know I wasn't conscious of what you're thinking, saying. He was trying to control me.
Now, because that's all. It's always the same thing. It's a control issue.
Yeah.
It's always the same thing. Person's always trying to control you,
Mm-hmm.
and who cares why, really? But you know, everybody has different reasons for wanting to control you.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the course of action? The prudent course of action to follow when someone's trying to control you.
Walk away.
Good, thank you.
That's my martial arts training. What do you do when somebody has a knife? Run away.
Yeah, run.
That was the first thing.
Thank you. Who taught you to run when somebody has a knife?
Jeff Coffee.
You
So he
see,
taught us all these, sophisticated moves about what to do, but then he said, the quiz was like, what do you do? And the first thing is run away.
you know what? There's a good martial arts teacher.
Yeah, he's great.
I've always felt that Jeff was very skilled at teaching martial arts, and now you've confirmed it.
There was a comedian used to say, that come at me with a knife, and he says, okay, here's what you do. You put one hand like this, ha! You put one hand like this, ha! And you go like this, and you move your feet, and you start running, and you run away.
Yeah, it was like that.
My thought defense teacher said, just don't get in any situations where you're going to have to fight.
That was the theme of his dojo, too. He said the true fighter never has to fight, never manifests never has to fight. He trained me how to, and he was 6 feet tall, but when he came out with the knife, I could twist his arm and turn around and flip him over his hand. But like you said, the real thing to do is when you see a knife at all in a room or in a situation, get away. Don't try to be a hero.
I wanted to say something to Christiana.
She's gone.
She's gone. Oh, okay.
What happened?
What I wanted to tell you was that I wanted to let you listen for a little while before we start doing anything with you, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Because I just want to sort of let you acclimate yourself a little bit because you're the new bird, okay?
Okay.
All right. So but it's too bad you weren't on because you didn't get to acclimate yourself while we were doing all this work. But anyway, we'll let it run a little longer. So let's take another symptom. Like Greg forgot our meeting today, right? Or you have the time, or what was it?
Yeah, I had it in mind this morning, and then I was dealing with my father, and I ran out. So I did forget it right this moment.
Okay.
I was going to run back down there for something.
Then let's first test, did something get through an entrance point that caused that forgetting?
Yeah.
Everybody test. You get yes. Barb, what did you get?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was it? Let's get the body. What body was it?
Go to the entrance point.
I get emotional.
Maybe it was universal emotional.
Greg, was it?
Emotional.
Did it seem like beautiful sadness?
Yeah. It's kind of a... Yes.
Now, who was it? Was there a person who got in, or an entity or something, another being that got in? Test that. Everybody test. Was there another being that got in?
I guess yes.
Yeah.
I got this.
So, can you have any hit on who?
I'm not sure the first person was, but it was probably... it started when I was in Pilates class this morning. And I felt wonderful. I felt connected with everybody and appreciating them and so forth. But again, it was a beautiful sadness.
So you mean it was the whole Pilates class that got in?
That was when it happened and the context, but I've been thinking about my father, thinking about relationships,
Test through
thinking
people.
about myself.
Test through people and tell me who got in. My father, you know, just test, just quick.
My father, the woman Nancy.
You know what I'm thinking here is because you've got multiple here, okay?
Yeah.
This is called a gangbang.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Anyway, what you've got is actually you're hooking yourself into people.
Uh-huh.
Like, test this question, was anybody trying to control me?
No.
No, because they were just there. You hooked yourself into them. So a lot of the time, when something gets through an entrance point, it doesn't necessarily mean that anybody is trying to control you. It's an alarm bell about you trying to control you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Barb, I want you to test something. Do I ever try to control myself?
Yes.
Is that a good thing?
Well, it can be, but it can be taken to a bad thing. I think a certain amount of control is good, but I think I've been trying to control my experience maybe a little too much.
You know what? There's different kinds of... There's self-control, which is a conscious good thing, like,
Yeah.
you know, you don't eat the German chocolate cake, okay, for breakfast. That's called self-control. And then there's controlling yourself, and that's always bad.
I know.
And you're always trying to do something to yourself, which means that you're powerless. It means that, because otherwise you wouldn't be trying to control yourself. You would just do this thing you want to be doing, you know, whatever it is.
No, that's why I know.
Plus, much of this is not conscious. Like, Greg, can you honestly say that you chose consciously to hook yourself into these people? Probably not, right? You were just...
I was conscious when I was hooking myself into the woman next to me. I've known her for years, and I know really, I've cared. But I think at this time I'm open to other people, a lot more to open other people to, because of how I've been changing.
This is
I've been
good.
experiencing. And I really felt it when I got back here to the Arms. One of the elevators is broken. I sat down there. So there's only one elevator, and all these people want to go up, and I'm talking to all of them, and I'm feeling a real connection to all these people from age 5 to 95. And I'm enjoying, I'm actually consciously doing this. But the actual moment that I hooked myself in, I recognized a change in me.
Okay.
I didn't really know that I was hooking myself into that. Usually I'm aware of the sadness, the beautiful sadness. It's something I'm very aware of.
Uh-huh.
I've known this since I was a kid. I'm very aware of my states and lots of things I do. You know, I may not say it, and maybe because I say it, I may not be as conscious and as sophisticated about it, or I may not change as fast. I may not cure as fast because I don't communicate.
One thing, test if there's any other body involved in this hook that we're talking about here.
Okay, so we're talking about me for the meeting here.
Yeah, this particular incident where you were at Pilates and you forgot that we were having the meeting because you got hooked in, and was there another body involved other than the emotional? Barb, what do you get? Anything?
I do. I get something here.
For Greg, you get anything?
Yes,
Ross, do you get anything? Christiana?
I guess yes.
Can you test down this list of bodies and see if you can find which body it is?
I
Barb?
get mental.
Mantle, Barb?
mental, universal mental.
Christiana, did you get anything?
No.
Greg?
etheric gravitation. It's like I'm more open to everything and everyone around me. And I'm not using my mental body.
So was it, Tess, was it seductive vibration? Get a signal on that?
Yeah, there's that's why it's sort of universal, because I get like a universal vibration. I'm
Well,
feeling,
seductive vibration is the etheric body.
I understand that.
Did you-
A little bit further, but I understand that.
Did you
So,
feel
yeah,
like your etheric body was like merging with theirs without your consent? Or theirs with yours? Like if you look back at the test, did that happen? Barb, test.
Yes, I was merging with theirs. Was it without my consent?
Test if it was without his...
It was unconscious. There's something that was unconscious.
Unconscious is the without consent, then.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ross,
Yeah.
what do you get?
I guess yes.
If someone's saying something in the background, I can't hear it. So that was Franny, I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Right there where you heard that sound and you asked about it,
Yeah.
test, did something get in there?
Yes.
Okay, which body was that?
Mental.
Was it mental? Mental is limiting logic. How was that limiting logic?
It limited my thinking, because I started thinking rather than a wider, bigger logic. There's a logic beyond the mind.
Uh-huh. So you mean when you heard something, it was unintelligible, and it made you think?
Yeah, and I disconnected from what I was experiencing, what I was feeling.
So you stopped reaching for your answers and focused on this distraction.
Yes,
So that is a mental body phenomenon.
in this case.
And well, you know what? That makes a lot of sense to me, because as you and I both know, like, you have trouble with your mental body. Like your mental body is sometimes used in dysfunctional ways. Like not to think, but to,
Right.
let's say, limit you. I'm afraid that may be what Gulu is doing, Ross.
Yes?
Gulu's...
Yes, I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, he teaches all these gurus around him, and he keeps taking them mentally.
Yeah,
Talks about these yoga like it's a mental thing.
he's taking it all in mentally, that's right.
And he doesn't want to understand this because he told me, how can I be mental when I did years and years of meditation?
Yeah.
And I think he feels that when somebody writes to him, he takes it as a critique. And I told him, look, it's not so. We are trying to help you. It's different. We are sharing.
You mean he sees it as a censure?
Yeah.
You speak pretty good English, Ross, for an English teacher.
For a non
What?
a non-native English speaker.
Thank you.
Just couldn't think of the word. My
Franny-
English is not so good.
Franny just gave me her Cheshire Cat smile.
For no
For
good
no good
reason.
reason.
Just
Just did it.
Franny's getting a lot out of her sessions with you, Ross.
Yeah, it's beautiful. She helped me.
You know? She's really feeling good about the way she's losing weight.
Yes, I'm very, very satisfied and happy.
I have an old friend who wants to lose weight, and I'm planning on calling her and discussing this phenomenon with her of Franny's weight loss. Well, now, this is well done. Let's see. Okay, Christiana, I think we can go to you. So why don't you go turn your camera on and come on up here and let's talk about this
Calm down.
this relapsing thing. Now, the first thing that I want to ask about is you have actually succeeded in controlling this virus. Yes, I mean you've cured it. You felt different. You have had less symptoms at times and so on. Is that true? Am I wrong about that? What's going on there?
No, I mean, up to this point, every 3 weeks or so, it still appears. Last time was not as bad as this one. The symptoms seem to go very quickly. There was no actual physical manifestation as opposed to this one.
Ah. So would you say that that was a result of your curing it?
I don't know about it because I feel like this virus is just a little trickster. Okay, but what I mean by that is it has shown its way in so many different ways. You know, when I think, okay, this is something else, then that's what it actually is. If I think, okay, I've had this before where it only comes for a day and it's gone right away, or it stays a whole week. You know, it's never the same. It's just like, okay, I'm going to show you this time, I'm going to do it this way. Okay, next time I'm going to do it this way. So it's never the same. So I cannot say conclusively because I've only been doing this like about a month now.
Right.
You know, that I have made progress in that sense. I mean, I felt the battle with this one. You know, definitely felt the battle. It's like opposed to now where pretty much the war is over. Okay, it reared its ugly head. Okay, now I test. I can feel the activity is not as strong as it was Friday or Saturday when I came down with this. You know, I was just constantly removing every 5 minutes. I mean, it was like it was everywhere. And now I test, and I may not find it at all, and then I test again 15 minutes later. Okay, it's very vaguely in maybe the gravitational or in the etheric or in the universal physical, you know, just spotty.
Well, one thing you could try is just test, have I ever succeeded in killing this virus?
Yes.
So you get a signal on that. Now, do you believe that?
For the moment, yes.
So you, like at this moment, you believe that you've succeeded in killing it at times?
I believe that I kill it for the moment, but it comes right back
I see. So you actually believe you believe that you kill it, but then you get it back.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, that's what happened with me. I killed it and got it back. That's right. When you kill it, do you feel different? Do you feel relaxed and calm, or whatever it is? That you feel a change in the way you feel?
I feel, at the moment, I feel more powerful and in control, like, you know, okay, I'm gonna beat you at this.
So you
it's
feel,
like game almost, you know, who will survive.
so you feel your power when you kill it.
Yes, I feel the power.
Well, that's good.
On the other hand, like when Saturday came, I mean, well, when did I tweet this? Yesterday morning. I mean, I really thought for 5 minutes, you know, it's like, okay, I am so tired of this. It's like, I don't know. It kind of goes like this.
So what is it that you're tired of?
Tired of dealing with it. I'm just tired. Every time I think, okay, I got you, buddy. You know, it's like it slapped me in the face. Oh, you thought you had me? Bam.
Well, okay. Everybody test this. Does Christiana feel like she needs to have herpes in some way? Like, is there something about it that she needs to have? Greg, what do you get?
Yes.
Franny?
Yes. Yes.
Barb?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Nell?
Yes.
And Christiana, what'd you get?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, it seems to me like you're in this like dance with it that you don't want to end.
No, I want it to end very badly.
Well, let me put it another way. That you're in a dance with it that you want to end very badly.
Yes.
Okay? Have you ever seen the lesson called Paradances?
Para dances? No.
That's what this is. It's a paradance.
How do I end this?
Well, I would suggest, for one thing, do the lesson, which this topic thing is not about, so we're not going to look at the lesson right now, but it's under P on the list of lessons. And if you have any trouble finding it, just tweet to me and tell me, and I'll dredge it up for you, okay?
Okay.
No problem. But so we identified one thing that could be holding it in place there.
Okay.
Does your husband? Oh, what's your husband's name, by the way?
Osama?
Does Osama want you to cure this?
Yes, he wants me to cure it.
Does he have like some idea about like wanting you to cure it some other way than what you're doing?
Yes.
Like how does he want you to cure it?
One of his ideas is going to Mecca, Saudi Arabia. They have this healing water there.
Okay. So, test this question, okay? I want by the way, when I give her something to test, I want everybody to test it.
We should just do this right now with you.
What, Barb? Barb, what?
I realize I've been distracted, and we are just focused, and there's no reason you can't cure this today, like right now, and just keep it up.
No, Barb. She's been doing fine. What we're doing here is the right thing to be doing.
Okay, good. I mean, I'm just...
Okay, so when I give her something to test, I want you to test it.
Okay.
Everybody test it. So I want you to ask, is there a way, like, in which you, like a negative way in which you take your husband's attitude? Like, do you receive his attitude in some kind of negative way? Like you don't feel good about him wanting you to do that or whatever. So test that, and everybody test for her. Is there some way that she doesn't like the way her husband relates to her curing her herpes? So what did you, Christiana, what did you get?
I got a no.
Greg?
I got a yes.
Franny?
Yeah.
Barb?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Mel? So interesting, Christiana, is that I want to just mention something. Can you imagine what it would be like to be doing this without having a community of immunity to interact with?
Yes, I can imagine. It would not be as supportive, but yes, I can imagine it.
And how does it seem to you when you imagine it?
No different really than my life has been. Like I said, I mean, I'm not a social butterfly. I feel like a lot of times I do better on my own. But I'm trying to be more open.
Right. Well, let me just put it this way. What I just saw happen was that 6 people tested unanimously the opposite of what you tested about 2 things about you that are critical things in you curing your herpes. Absolutely critical things. And if we weren't here, you would just be off there, you wouldn't have even thought to ask the questions.
Right.
So just, this is what we used to have, was we would have, like Greg was telling me, Christiana, let me just share this with you, that like 1 month, like 50,000 people came to our web college. Around 50 of them signed up for the web college. Out of 50,000. 1 in 1,000.
Yep.
And out of those 50, guess how many of them wrote to us and said, hey, guess what, I cured it.
10?
Try 0. But that doesn't mean they didn't cure it. It just means they were not social butterflies.
Right.
So,
I mean, I'm stepping way out of my comfort zone, honestly.
well, that is a very, very noble and laudable. And I also want you to understand what's happening when you step out of your comfort zone. That you are receiving some input and connection that wouldn't be there otherwise. And, all these people came in way before we ever had a Twitter feed. We didn't have Twitter. We didn't have Skype. We didn't have, this group meeting. They had nothing. They had the web college, that was it. And, a lot of them are dead.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a woman who I actually talked to on the phone. It was one of the first people who ever signed up for the web college so long ago. She had multiple sclerosis, and we cured it on the phone. We cured it. And when I didn't know anything about multiple sclerosis, so I didn't know that that's the real trickster. And she thought, oh God, this is wonderful, it's gone, and she felt completely different. Well, about a week or so later, the thing just crippled her. And she never cured anything again. She went, I sort of kept in touch with her, even though she wasn't curing anything, and she went to a guru. You ever hear of Guru Mai?
No.
Well, anyway, she went to Guru Mai. She had already been with Guru Mai before, and she went and lived in the ashram for a while. And, the disease just kept getting worse and worse. And then I guess I sort of lost touch with her after that. But I got to that point where she wasn't walking anymore. And, not too long ago, a couple of years ago, I watched somebody actually cure it and get her walking back. And she had a lot more ongoing support. and we also knew a little more about it, multiple sclerosis at the time, and we knew that, it was going to do what it did, and she was ready for it when it did, so that worked out pretty well. And you can see movies of her. We made a whole series of movies with her, so you can see those in the, the Cure Drive movie group. But see, here's what's happening. Just let me give you a little perspective, okay? You have other factors that are holding, I'm using this term, holding the herpes in place. You relate to that?
Yes.
Now then, let me say that a different way. There are other factors that are causing you to hold the herpes in place. Do you relate to that?
Like what, for example?
Well, like the two things that everybody just tested yes on that you tested no on.
But why would that hold me in place? No, I cannot relate to that.
Okay. You've got a ways to go in self-understanding and curing understanding, and as you said, you've only been doing it for a month. So it just, all it means is that you're low in experience, and I find it very admirable the way you have been writing in Twitter, and very inspiring. And also, you obviously do know that you're killing the virus. And the thing is that just maybe you can let this in. See, I can't really be specific about this because I don't know the answer. We just haven't done enough. But there's a way in which holding on to your herpes is a reaction to your husband.
No, I don't think that at all.
You know what? You don't need to think it. And also, you really don't have to agree with anything I say. It's okay, Like, this isn't an intellectual discussion. Like, the way this works is sort of like you get to say and test what you say and test and see, and I get to say and test what I say and test and see. Can you relate to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just each, do our thing. And by you, the hope that we have is that maybe as a result of this interaction we're having, you become a little more alert and or a little more perceptive. And you find the answers, because ultimately you have to find the answers. Nobody can, have the answers and spoon feed them to you. You're going to have to find them. You get the idea?
Yeah.
So, by being around people who see different things than you do, maybe you will, notice something.
Okay.
So that was one thing, was that it may be a reaction to Osama, and then the other thing was that a paradance. Remember?
Yeah.
Did you relate to that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you might. That's a starting point. Go look up paradances.
Okay.
And. Is there anything else?
About?
Well, you were doing a pretty good job of describing what it's like to, relate to this whole question of curing your herpes, right? I mean, I thought you were doing pretty good, with that. And I'm wondering if there was anything. Everybody tests this is herpes coming in through... Okay, I remember what I wanted to do. Remember what you were saying about how you were finding it in your karmic body, your emotional... Remember this? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you found herpes in your karmic body, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, everybody test when she found herpes in her karmic body, was it poetic justice?
Yeah.
Who got yes?
I guess yes. I guess yes.
Christiana, did you test yes on that?
Yes.
Greg?
I do, yes.
Franny?
Yes.
Okay. How would having herpes be poetic justice?
Well, you get some disease if you think you're bad or you've done wrong. If there's something that's not right and you want to right it,
Right.
make up for it. Make up for some transgression or where you're not living up to something. Which can
I
be
think there's
fundamental.
something entirely different there. I think there's something entirely different there. That it's not. But tell me, Christiana, do you think that it's like a poetic justice because you're atoning for some sin by having a disease? Is that?
Possibly.
But well, test. Is it? Just test it. Am I atoning? Is it? Am I atoning for a sin by having the disease? You get no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
You get yes, you're atoning for a sin.
Yes.
Okay, so, well, we may not need to look any further, but is there something else that is poetic justice to this other than atoning for a sin?
Yes.
Any ideas about what it is? Does it concern another person?
Yes.
Family member?
Yes.
Test through your family. Who do you get?
My family isn't very big. I don't get anything.
Okay, how about mother?
I get that.
What?
Yeah. Well, I get a yes now.
Okay, how about father?
No.
No sisters or brothers, right?
I have one sister.
Okay, sister.
No, and I have two stepbrothers.
Stepbrothers?
No.
Husband?
No.
Any previous husbands?
Yeah, one.
That one.
Yes.
Okay, this is how you use this list. Get the idea?
Yes.
Now, we don't have time to get into the specifics of these things now because we only have about 8 minutes to go in this topic class. But you have an unlimited amount of time to go into these things. Now, you got a take on it now. You found one body, poetic justice, people who it concerns, and now you have to find how either those people got in or you just hooked yourself onto them and brought in something that may not have even been in them, but you thought it was in them or put it there. You get the idea?
Kind of. I mean, I don't know where to take it from here with this information. What further questions do I ask?
Okay. You would ask, with the previous husband, is it was it one of his? Did he try to get in through my karmic body? does he intend for me to be sick? Things like that.
Okay. Okay.
Or am I putting that in him? Is he completely uninvolved in this thing and it's just me doing this? And you test that. And you test each question.
Okay. Okay.
Plus,
I do better with a list of instructions. You know, if I had...
well,
like,
there
okay,
you just got a list of instructions, and what it is you make up questions. That's the whole list of instructions. Make up questions. Whatever you could possibly ask it.
Needing the list of instructions, test if that's a symptom.
Just kidding. All right, moving on. But no, you get the idea here, right? That's the list of instructions.
Yeah.
You make up. Can you make up questions?
Just ignoring it.
Greg, it's okay. We don't need to digress into that
you heard
right
it.
now.
Thank you. So you heard it. Thank you.
Well,
That's all I asked.
did you want me to hear it or Christiana to hear it?
Christine, and to answer it, but if you want to move on.
Okay, I would like to. I just said we had 8 minutes.
Okay.
2
I heard
minutes
that.
ago.
And we're moving on, so stop talking about it. Okay?
Why are you so angry?
I'm not.
Okay. What bodies are involved?
Oh, yes, you are. And you're also lying about it. Lying. You are lying.
It wasn't originally. I'm
All right.
getting worked up because you know I'm ready to drop it, and you want to keep talking.
Okay. I'm really... Christiana, do you understand that you make up questions?
Yes, yes. That's the hardest part for me because I cannot think of, you know, all these gazillion questions. I don't know. I'm determined to cure this, you know. If you can do it, I can do it. But can I get to the bottom of it is the question.
Have you ever considered having coaching in this?
It would be great, but I can't afford. I saw the prices on the
Right.
cost. You know, I can't afford that.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate that, there are so many people who can't. Well, then, but you have a community and you can, talk on Twitter, and also maybe you ought to, invite somebody to talk with you and see if they can come up with questions for you to ask or whatever,
Yeah.
Like the next thing is get a buddy. It doesn't cost anything, What about your husband helping you do this? Osama, helping you do it, not the other one.
Well, he's still in Egypt, so it's a little difficult at the moment.
He's in Egypt? I thought he came to the States and you got married.
We are married. We're working on it. It's for him to come here.
Oh, why can't he come?
Because we have to do the paperwork process. He can't just come.
Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, you could do this with him on Skype. What about that?
Yeah.
Look, tell him to watch this movie. I'll put it up tomorrow and he can watch it and see what you're up against and what you need help with, and maybe he can come in and help you.
Okay.
Why not? Franny helps me every day.
Yeah.
Of course, she charges me $6,300 every 3 months. Let's see. Now, the thing I want to point out to you is you were talking about other bodies, the herpes coming in through other bodies, like you found it in the etheric body, remember?
Find it there quite a bit.
Okay. Well, see, now that's seductive vibration. So now you have this whole other line to test on. Get it?
Yeah, yeah.
You found it there, so now you test. What is the seductive vibration of herpes? Like, can I see it? Can I feel it? Can I sense it? You see what you can see, sense, or feel, and then you test. Is that it? And then you erase it. And then you test. Is it gone? Yes. And every time you feel it, you erase it again.
Okay.
And the poetic justice thing. You find every way that you're hooked in and you unhook.
Okay.
This is how you cure herpes, in your case.
Okay.
Now, another thing that you said is you said you were really, really tired of dealing with it. Remember?
Yep. Yep.
And at the same time, almost in the same breath, you were saying that when you do deal with it, you feel powerful.
Yes. When I feel like I can subdue it, yes.
Well, when you are you getting sick and tired of feeling powerful?
No.
Well, focus on that. Like, go for that powerful feeling.
Okay.
Like when you're attacking that herpes, don't stop till you feel powerful.
Okay. Okay.
You know, there's just something I want to make clear to you. You don't need coaching. You can do this. You could do this. I didn't have any coaching. And
But it was very simple for you. You did it and it was gone.
well, no, actually it wasn't simple. See, I did all these other things that we're talking about you doing. It's just that I wanted to do them, and I didn't do them to cure my herpes. I didn't know you could cure herpes when I was doing them. I did them because I wanted to get well emotionally,
Yeah.
because I knew I was neurotic. Do you know you're neurotic?
Am I?
Well, are you?
I don't know.
Have you ever talked to a therapist or a shrink or anybody? Have done any kind of personal growth work like that?
Long time ago.
And so, are you aware that you're still, in need of, cure in that area?
Probably, yes.
Okay. Well, do you want to be cured in that area?
Yes. But I want to cure herpes more than anything.
Well, good, because the area is holding the herpes in place. And you know what? See, I went around doing this all day, and I never knew I could cure my herpes, but I did it for about 4 months. And then I got a herpes outbreak, and that's when I cured my herpes.
Mm-hmm.
And by that time, I was addicted to feeling powerful. You know how you're saying you feel powerful when you cure something? Well, it's the same with when you cure anything emotional or any kind of neurotic symptom or something. You feel powerful. And you know what I want to do? I want to go to Barb for a minute. Barb, do you see at this point why you can't just kill the herpes in her bodies and she's going to cure it?
Yes. She has to really I get to the inquiry and get to the vet college and work on yourself. You are a member of the vet college, right?
Oh yeah, she has a membership, but she has to become a different person.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me, Christiana. In 4 months, I did this for 4 months, and I literally became a different person. No kidding.
Yes, I believe.
I was like so chilled out. I was on cloud 9. I was ecstatic. And when I got that herpes outbreak, I just wasn't willing to have the pain anymore.
Yeah.
It was really over, I just didn't want the pain.
Yeah. Yeah. And you didn't even have it as much. You just had it every 4 or 5 months, yes?
Well, 3 or 4 months maybe.
3 months was the absolute heaven for me at this point. So, yes, I have a lot of work to do, so...
Well, this is, see, now, and also, there's a lot of lists like this. There's a whole list of lists.
I know.
Get into...
That's the problem. There's so much information, it's like, okay...
Well, now you've learned a little more about how to use it. Watch movies, read the stuff, and obviously it'd be faster with a coach, but it can still be done without one. And, just, put in more time. If you don't have money, use time. Burn the midnight oil. I mean, we started businesses with no money.
Right.
I mean, Franny used to work for the most prestigious graphics firm in the world, and they burned the midnight oil there big time. She used to be there all night.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So, from your experience, are there people like me, I mean, that have really a hard time trying to pinpoint and,
Well,
I'm surprised that with this,
you're not actually having a hard time.
That's right.
Yeah, because you're killing the herpes and feeling powerful, which is not really a hard time. But the answer is yes. For example, Meredith Nesbitt didn't get a signal for the first 6 months.
Wow. Yeah, I get plenty of signals, and I mean, my hands sometimes goes like this.
Yeah. No, you're doing very well. But you know what? Meredith has been doing this for 15 years, and she's cured everything, including herpes, which she didn't know she had herpes for about the first 13 years. And then she got a herpes. At the age of 60-something, she got her first herpes outbreak. She had been married 50 or 40 years to the same guy, and she got her first herpes outbreak, and she was a registered nurse. And then she remembered that her mother, who was a registered nurse, told her that she had herpes. And that's where she got it. She got it from her mother.
Wow.
She was born with it.
Wow.
But anyway, she got a herpes outbreak and then she cured it. So that's her story.
Well, that's encouraging that you think I don't have a hard time. So.
No, you're having fun, and you were saying that you're the happiest you've ever been. You tweeted that. I felt so wonderful when I read that.
I am. I mean, I've come out of a really terrible relationship from 13 years, and I have the most wonderful husband now, and I'm content. This is the only thing really that I don't know what I would do if I could just nip it.
Well, don't worry. You're doing fine, and the thing to do is to find, you have to actually hunt for, seek out what's wrong with you and destroy it. Like we were just doing when we discovered. Oh, and another thing, you need to know this. This is very important. Have you noticed in Skill 1, there's an application of Skill 1 called Knowingness is Power?
Yes.
Do that application.
Okay.
Because sometimes, like when you find, for example, that you have, let's say, that it came in through your karmic body, and that it's poetic justice, and that it involves your former husband plus another one, and your mother, and so on. And as you find that, just knowing that can cure the hook.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you're hooked into the person. Just coming in.
Right.
See, I think you have to find out a little more about what the poetic justice is with that particular person, just because you don't have enough experience just to access the basic fact and know it.
Right.
So you have to dig in more. Everything is always slower at first. You have to run things more rigorously at first, and then you can back things off a little bit.
Right. I understand that.
So, well, this was a good little, thing we did here, guys. I have to say, I'm very pleased with how we've done our class today. Thank you. Well, I went a little over. Greg, I'm sorry if I offended you before.
I don't think you were offending me, so.
Okay, I hope I didn't. Hope I didn't.
I think so.
And I think this is good. This was good for this. I think the person watching this will know how to use the entrance points list. So keep checking your entrance points, guys, when you see symptoms.
Okay.
Let's link our results bodies. Good being with everybody.
Good.
And a good afternoon to all of you, or a good night to some of you. See you later.
Thank you. Ciao. All right.
Kiao, bam.